Japan-Poland relations. There were 16 spies operating in Russia. Japanese elites financially, both countries. This is going so far, I did fast. This well-known Japanese writer dedicated his book to the Polish nation, indicating that it was a samurai nation. One struggle. Yes, there was a very interesting, like senpai, what's the other word?
Kohai.
And kohai relationship. Basically two places that were very hardcore anti-communist before World War II. This is because they shared an annoying neighbor. That annoying neighbor, of course, being the Soviet Union. There were 16 spies operating in Russia, cooperating with Japan. Japanese elites financially supported the creation of a sovereign Polish government. Both countries formed a silent alliance against the Soviet Union, and during Bolshevik rule in Russia, the Japanese government undertook a rescue operation to help Polish children deported to Siberia. I don't think it's that crazy to say there would be a world where the Japanese and Poland worked together in World War II if things played out a little bit differently. All of Poland in 1920, death is a preferable alternative to communism. And this is part of the reason why the Japanese loved the Poles so much. Remember, this is 1920. This is them fighting against the Soviet Union and winning for their independence. The Japanese saw a nation that beat the Soviets and they're like, let's be friends with that guy. World War II be like, this is Europe's war. It doesn't involve us. Then Pearl Harbor happens. Well, I guess it does. Yeah, that whole isolationism thing never really works out for the US. They always try though, but yeah, it's only a matter of time before they get pulled in. Funny to see quite the difference from FDR. Keep in mind, there was the Lend-Lease Act, so they were kind of involved in World War II before technically being involved. It's 1935. I'm raising taxes to 79% for Americans who make more than $5 million a year. This equals to $115 million today. But sir, only one man makes that much right now. Meanwhile, John D. Rockefeller, new tax rate. What the frick? He was probably literally pooping himself. 79% tax rate, that's insane. Damn, raising taxes on a specific person is diabolical. But part of the reason he did that is because Rockefeller's annual income accounted for 1.43 of America's total income. That is unbelievable that one man could even pull in more than 1%. For reference, Elon Musk is reportedly making 18 billion per year, but obviously the US government currently is making a couple trillion. Circle got smaller, but the vision got larger. Basically, the final two Axis members in Europe in 1945. Who cares if we lost homies along the way? We're still absolutely gonna win this war. At least that's what they thought. Literally, the glorious Luftwaffe in 1945, it really didn't look the same as it did before. Funny enough, Italy was actually the first Axis country to surrender. They kind of came back. Germany starting World War II in 1939. Italy, who was told by Germany that the war wouldn't break out till 1942. 1942? Who told the Italians that number? I mean, to be fair, the Germans had to have known they were pushing their luck by declaring war on Poland, which was the thing that started it off in 1939. But this would kind of explain why the Italians kind of did so poorly during the entire conflict. They just weren't prepared. They needed a couple more years. And who knows, buying a couple more years for Franco to rebuild Spain could have been a big deal as well. Independent Finland in 1917 to right now. Finland under Russia rule between 1809 to 1917. Then there's Finland under Sweden between 1150 to 1809. It was literally utopia. I don't think the Finns would agree with this, but definitely the Swedes would think this way. Oh man, I wonder what they're saying right now. You Canadians are out of season and are playing with unfamiliar teammates. We Soviets train every day, we skate faster, play better, and our team is— Bro, we're gonna break your legs, you commie for— what? Was this the Olympic hockey match between the Soviets and Canada where they broke out into a massive brawl? Actually, this is referring to the Summit series that occurred in 1972. Pretty impressive that little old Canada was able to come close to competing with the giant Soviets at the time. Mr. President, I have blood on my hands. It turns out my massive weapon of terror is not a resolver of peace. Never come back into my office again, you stupid freaking nerd. What a Chad Truman really was. I go back and forth with Oppenheimer here. I mean, what did you think was gonna happen? But then again, if it wasn't him that built it, then someone else would have built it, so he knew he needed to be the first one to do it. Literally everyone, as World War II was on the way in 1936. Meanwhile, the Swiss inventing white chocolate. Yay! And that white chocolate certainly was powerful since the Swiss never were forced to enter into World War II. Everyone, what do you got there, Switzerland? Switzerland, white chocolate. Oh, and also our mountains are gun torrents now. I mean, quite literally, Switzerland is literally built where everything can oof you possibly if you were to invade. What if the Axis won World War II? Literally proceeds to show you the most boring map ever. But this one's a little bit better. This is definitely much more of a realistic look for an Axis victory, because them just controlling every corner of the planet, that was not gonna happen. That's like my biggest problem with like Man in the High Castle. Like, there's no way. I mean, I don't even see how they're supposed to get the naval ships to properly invade the British Isles, to be honest. Let alone this. JK Rowling in 1997 trying to come up with a name for this MFer. Reads literally any history book on England. Neville. Neville is a perfect name for this weakling. Okay, I guess we could say J.K. Rowling is not a fan of Neville Chamberlain. Possibly. Although, yeah, Longbottom was kind of the hero of this series if you think about it. In the name of the USSR and the Communist Party, you are under arrest, General Secretary. I am the party. Not yet, responds Trotsky. Yeah, unfortunately for Trotsky, he was going to take a lightsaber to the head or an ice pick. Same thing. Leon Trotsky was meant to be the ruler of the Soviet Union after Lenin died, but obviously that was not the case and Stalin took power. It's kind of crazy to imagine what that world would have looked like. Or maybe it would have been the same. I don't know. I want peace in the Middle East. Yeah. No, it was an oppressive empire. Oh, that's the Ottomans. Well, empires pacify using violence. Charles Darwin in 1832 and Albert Einstein in 1925 both agreeing I went to Brazil once and never want to go back. Maybe this is the origin of the meme come to Brazil because you'll never want to return again. I don't know. Could maybe add Teddy Roosevelt to that list too. Don't go to Brazil. Publishing numerous studies on the benefits of genetic diversity, but also having 10 children with your cousin. Charles Darwin be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit of boat to that. Probably one of the most ironic things in history to happen. Darwin looking at his fricked up tomatoes. Oh shit, that's me. Cue the Sweet Home Alabama music. You know, me and you are not so different. My child will carefully plan the campaign, prepare a robust system of logistics, scout ahead and engage in counterintelligence operations and yada yada yada. Yeah, who cares? Frick it, we ball. Frick it, we ball. Frick it, we ball. Frick it, we ball. The way different South American leaders took their independence movements. The guy on the left, an Argentinian. The guy on the right, obviously Simon Bolivar. That man was so close to greatness. I missed a day from my CIA job in the 70s. Meanwhile, my coworkers, yesterday we established a dictatorship in Latin America. Just a normal Tuesday in the CIA, especially in the 1970s. This was happening weekly. What do they think? They can just be a democratic nation down there? Just a minor amount of puppet foolery. Let's put an Austrian in charge of Mexico. They can't stop us all. Meanwhile, the Mexican Republican victory. It's definitely a little bit more complicated than this, but yeah, Mexico definitely did not support that monarch. Crazy to see some of these belligerences. Obviously, France led that war, but they were supported by Spain and the UK, Austria, Belgium, Egypt, also Polish exiles for whatever reason. All that for nothing. Polish exiles just roaming around invading places. Pirates in fiction. No, you can't liberate 300 million slaves and also save 40 countries. No. Haha, liberty go burr. Versus pirates in reality. Are you oofing and enslaving people? Yeah. Me too. Do you want to work together? Sure. Pirates were pretty complicated, very complicated people actually. Also pirates in fiction. Yo, where the freak is this treasure? We're on episode 1000 and we ain't find shit. Oh god, One Piece. The British finding a weird brown leaf. Yes, we can get people addicted to this. Then we can invest the profits to textile mills. Splendid. Then there's the Spanish finding a literal mountain of silver. Another 20 trillion to German mercenaries. Yes, how to bankrupt your country 101. It's funny how building an empire actually tanked their economy. España cannot into financial responsibility. Denmark gaining land after doing absolutely nothing during the First World War. Literally stayed neutral, yet got territory. Sometimes it's that easy. I wonder if that's been the Swiss plan this whole time. They're just waiting for other powers to make them into a Swiss empire. Russian parliament admits guilt over Polish massacre. You're sorry? Now? But why? Maybe Russia's starting to feel a little bit of the heat. They know Poland wants to push that Article 5 button. Oh wait, this is from 2010. I have no idea why they said this in 2010. I feel like the real question is, why are you posting this now? Why the meme now? Oh, the Boston Molassacre. Hey, do you smell that? Smell what? I don't know, it's sweet and sticky. What do you... wait, I smell that too. I wonder where it's coming from. Sweet mother of beet juice. 21 people died that day. You still can smell the molasses in the streets of Boston on hot days. I'm still scared of Chocolate River in the Willy Wonka movie. I mean, they say you can still smell it. I've never smelt it. I will say this is like a horrific death though, the people that actually got caught. A literal tsunami of molasses that was probably extremely hot. Yes, this is also reminding me of the great beer flood of the UK. That one seems a whole lot better. People who discovered agriculture must have been like, yo, check out this unlimited food hack. I mean, literally all of humanity pretty much said that. I mean, did some humans still decide to be hunter-gatherers? Yeah. But the vast majority were like, yo, we just beat the system. Hopefully they don't patch this exploit. Early Europeans could not tolerate milk, but they drank it anyways, studies find. For thousands of years, Europeans consumed milk products despite lacking the enzyme designed to avoid gastrointestinal I can't even say this word. fuck it. Wow, that's an odd looking drum. What's it made out of? Oh, it's nothing, just from the skin of my enemies. Cool. The conquistadors of Spain coming across the Incans. Say they did a little bit of trolling. Something beat of a drum. Polish and Czech seem weird to Westerners because they converted to Roman Christianity, adopted the Latin alphabet, and then forced to blend it, while Bulgarians, Ukrainians, Serbs, and Russians got the tailor-made Cyrillic alphabet for the Eastern Church. Czechia and Poland here both agreeing to have best languages in Europe. Just another dub, I suppose? Forcing that to blend with Slavic languages, that's impressive. Poland invented the ultimate anti-Westoid cipher, a language that uses their alphabet but is confusingly unreadable by them. Man, say that again. That thing is like, it's honestly scary. Oh, I can type in Polish. B Island Nation, hated by all my neighbors. Was first to industrialize, had the largest empire among them. Never apologized for the appropriated tea from China. Appropriated fried fish from Portugal. Appropriated whitewashed Indian curry as a national dish as well. Very abruptly promised to stop all imperialism after World War II to the belief of absolutely no one. Still be a monarchy for some reason. B Japan. Pic Unrelated. Another Pic Unrelated here. Was the first to industrialize though? Yes, out of all of Japan's neighbors, that's true, but obviously not in the world. Appropriated tea, fried fish, and whitewashed Indian curry. These two island nations on the opposite ends of the globe do have quite a lot in common though. Big thanks to my patrons this month. I tried to kidnap Drew again, but he put me in his basement. Help. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. I can't sleep without Drew's voice. Nord, Tiger, Archaeology, aPhatNarwhal, Carmel, Sarsath, Pavlik, DaBeautiful-MEGAN-Underwood, Fredrik Tibblin, JohnDenver, KansasWasMentioned, KingBearHaze, LuxembourgLover, sebby. If you hear this,